So, I just got the Xiaomi 15T, and I challenge you to find a better phone for £350. Here I've got the rose gold colour. As you can see, it's a similar design to last year, except everything is just more round. So the body is round and the camera module is also rounded this time. But apart from the roundiness, it's basically the same design, which I like. They've built upon an already existing good design. Now, this is the base model, not the Pro model, meaning that it is plastic, which you can't see because this camera never focuses for some reason. Yeah, it is plastic, but I assume that's not a problem for most people because everyone uses a case on their phone anyway. And me personally, I don't use a case on my smartphones, but it's a really nice high quality polycarbonate anyway, so it doesn't feel cheap or anything. The back of the phone is made from polycarbonate and it is a nice matte material. And it has a sort of glittery design that you probably can't see on camera. There's a slightly sparkly design. So yeah, it's matte, which is quite nice, and the sides are also matte, so you're not going to get this thing covered in fingerprints. Now, if we turn the device on, you will notice, well you might notice, if you're a nerd like me, that this is the exact same display from the Poco F8. So they reused that display, which is fine, because it's a great display. And this means that it's obviously the same size as the Poco F8, so it's a really, really wide display. So content on this device feels absolutely massive because of how wide the display is. Now, with the Xiaomi 15T, we actually got 144 Hz. This year, that's only on the Pro model, so you're stuck with 120 Hz on the standard model, but you know, that is fine, as it is still a 1.5K 12-bit AMOLED panel, which is a lot better than the slop that Samsung are pumping out these days. Something that I haven't seen anyone mention yet is the standard model does have a chin at the bottom, just like the Poco F8, as it is the same display, but the Pro model actually has symmetrical bezels, so if that's something you care about, then I'd keep that in mind. Now, even though this uses the same display as the Poco F8, the body is 0.7mm thinner, and the battery has unfortunately shrunk to 5500 mAh, which is slightly disappointing considering we now have phones with 7000 to even 8300 mAh batteries in normal sized smartphone bodies. I personally would have preferred a thicker phone with a bigger battery, but let me know what you think in the comments. Now, despite the battery being mediocre in this smartphone, you can top it up quite quickly as it supports 67-watt wired charging, although wireless charging is reserved for the Pro model only. This phone is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 8400 Ultra, which in my opinion offers the perfect balance of performance and efficiency. So you can play your favourite games, edit videos even, scroll through TikTok, whatever, and the battery won't drain within the hour. So we all know Genshin Impact is probably the most graphically intensive game on the App Store, so if your phone can run that, then it can run basically everything. And yes, this phone runs Genshin perfectly. Now, before I get any comments about it, no, this phone doesn't get hot at all, but if you're one of those people that, you know, just plays on your phone for like 12 hours playing Genshin Impact all day, with the phone plugged in, and you live in a hot country, yes, the phone is obviously going to get hot, so I don't want to see any comments saying that the phone has a heating issue. Now, before we continue with the video, we can actually determine how good the value of this phone is. If we put all of the parts of the Xiaomi 15T into my phone creator website, we can see that it costs Xiaomi about £150 per unit. Please note that this is a rough estimate and not all parts and pricing is 100% correct. Once you factor in VAT, marketing costs and R&D and whatever other fees that they may have to pay, Xiaomi are making razor thin profit with this phone, so you're getting a really, really good deal. If you want to check out Phone Creator, I will leave the link in the description. So on the back of the phone, you have your main ultra-wide and telephoto lens. Now it is a 2x telephoto, the same as last year, although it has been slightly downgraded as it's now 46mm instead of 50mm, although you're probably not going to notice that difference at all, so don't worry about it. Now, I was never really a fan of the 2x telephoto from last year, because it's only 2x and I feel like you could just crop in 2 times and get the same amount of detail. So yeah, it's not the best telephoto, but it is certainly there if you want it, and you know, it can be useful in certain scenarios. But the main reason to buy a Xiaomi device is of course the Leica lenses and software tuning, which is something that you'd normally have to pay £1,000 for. You get the option for Leica Authentic and Leica Vibrant. As for video, it's pretty good and it tops out at 4K 60 FPS. Now, the main sensor has actually been upgraded slightly this year, so low light performance will be better. That's not something that the 14T particularly struggled with, but obviously an upgrade is always welcome, especially considering this phone is the same price as last year's model. Now, if you could not care less about taking pictures at all, I think I would recommend the Poco F7, to be honest. It is still the best value performance phone that you can buy, in my opinion. But if you care about taking pictures and even video, and you want a near professional camera experience, then yeah, I definitely recommend getting the 15T over the Poco F7. That was my review of the Xiaomi 15T. I'll see you guys in the next one.